Good morning. This is Rochelle Coatney, y'all, on the cajon. Give her some love this morning. It's time for us to sing our love and dance our joy and live our peace. That's what it's all about. If we just talk about it, that's not quite enough. We got to live that peace and that joy and that love every moment. It takes practice, though, right? So we'll practice by singing right now. Feel free to dance, too, if the Spirit moves you. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, I dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. I dance my joy, dance my joy, I dance my joy into the world. That's the way I like it. That's the way, I like it, That's the way, I like it. I can hear you. Keep it going. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, I live my peace, I live my peace into the world. I live my peace, live my peace, I live my peace into the world. That's the way I like it, y'all. That's the way I like it. Come on. I like it. You see, the rest of the band has the day off, so y'all got to help us make it up now. You're going to have one more opportunity to sing along. I'm just pre-warning you, pre-notifying you, I'm telling you. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, I sing my love, I sing my love into the world. I sing my love, sing my love, I sing my love into the world. Last time. That's the way, I like it, That's the way, I like it. Give yourselves a hand, y'all. Oh, yes, Brenda, Gina, and Kim, we love you. We miss you. Enjoy your day off. Rochelle, thank you for being here. We're so grateful. We're so grateful, yeah. Whoever you are and wherever you're from, we're glad you're here. You are welcome here. And this is also a great opportunity to turn and say good morning to someone if you so choose. Don't forget to look at that camera back there and wave at our online community and say thanks to them too. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Lay all your fears and all your doubts aside. Let go of all the hurt you hold inside. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your this gift of love right now. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Well, who'd have known that who you are is enough? And who'd have known that you could be so loved? Well, we knew, now you know. Yes, we knew, now you know. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. You are welcome here, just the way you are. You are wanted here, so open up your heart. Yeah. Give yourselves a hand. Thanks for singing and dancing and hugging it out. All right. We have a kind of a new one. I sang it for you when we were still online only. And so we have another one that is kind of new to us. So I'm going to teach it to you so y'all can help me sing along. Yes. Red SUV across the street about to be towed. Anyone? Anyone? Good luck. Lots of sharing going on. There we go. What else? What else we got? What else we got? Anything? But did you keep your coffee cup? That's what I need to know. I've been kicking it around this morning. Okay, good. Coffee cup is good. Yeah, you did. They're working great. So. Pardon me. So what was I saying? New sing along. I'm going to teach it to you because we're gonna teach it to Brenda and Gina and Kim next week. All right, sound good? All right. Did you hear that, Kim? We're going to learn a new song. All right. So first we're going to say, I am love and light. I'm free to fly. You got that? I am love and light. I am free to fly. Good. I am the love I want to see. We are a heart in action, loves compassion. I am a heart in action. I am love's compassion. I am the love I want to see. See it with me now. I am love and light. I am shining brightly. I am love and light. Shine. So I'm realizing I can't talk and sing that fast. So you're going to have to just pick up on the words because I can't yell them out before I sing. I am love and light. I am free to fly. I am the light I want to see. I claim it with me now. I am love in action. I am a heart's compassion. I am love and light. I am free, free to shine, free to shine, free to fly, free to fly, free to fly, free to fly. Say that with me. I am love. Yes, you are. One more time. I am love. Okay, one more. I am love. She just learned it too. Fantastic. All right. So we do have an annual meeting today, immediately following service. And we invite you to stay, especially if you are a member. We'll be voting on a couple of board terms that are up for a vote. But I just would like to take a moment and say thank you. Sally Razak, I love you so much. Sally, Sally and Lisa Lee Morgan, I love you so much. Lisa Lee and Sally were our founding, that's the word I'm looking for, founding members and founding board members. Could y'all just stand up for just a second? And we just want to say thank you for your service for the last 4+ years. Thank you. Thank you. Lisa has thrown her hat back in the ring to serve one more term, and Sally is stepping aside to give that opportunity to someone else. And so we love you and we thank you. So that's going to be one of the things we'll talk about at our meeting today. But while we're at it, other founding members of this community, would you please stand up? And Sally and Lisa, y'all can stand back up too. Come on. Founding members of Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. And so I was we have a new thing that we're doing called Sharing Circles at 10:30 on Sunday mornings from 10:30 to 11:30. It's just a way to connect each week, see what's going on. I like to talk about the thorn, the bud, and the flower and the bloom, which is now I'm calling it moving up the stem. Thank you, Nancy. Because the thorn is maybe something you're challenged with right now that you could use support around. The bud is like an intention, a budding promise, right? And the bloom, we're going to go straight to the gratitude. What's already blooming? What are we grateful for? And so in my sharing this morning, I said, well, the thing you can know with me is that we continue to move with grace and ease and trust as we basically, it's kind of like starting over in a lot of ways, right? We're coming back together now, and things that we had in place when we met at Magnolia Woods, you know, people just knew their place and their role and their place to volunteer, and they just did that. You know, you just didn't know how the books showed up, but they just did. You didn't know how this showed up, but it just did, and my water was always just sitting right there. And so it just, all these things just sort of happened, right? And now we get an opportunity to continually navigate coming back together and doing it in a new way. And so thank you for joining us in that. So founding members, we welcome all the new members. So wait, I didn't say that. New members, not founding members, but members of Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening. Would you please stand? All right. Stand up, bro. All right, awesome. And Joanne and Monse, please stay standing. Joanne and Monse are two of our board members, so thank you. Thank you, in addition to Lisa Lee. All right, and Janice, and soon to be one more. All right. Let's just take a moment and have a little musical meditation, shall we? So I have a few songs that have the same chord progression almost. And for the longest time, I couldn't figure out, like, why did that happen? I mean, they're totally different songs. And then I realized they were kind of a story. Because one says, I surrender. I just surrender, knowing that as we surrender, we're not giving over to a power outside of us, but rather giving in to a power within us. And when we do that, then we can be open to life. And the next chant is called I'm Opening. And then once we've surrendered what we don't need to hold on to, and we have opened our hearts to love's presence and to the flow of life, then we can just say, lead me, love. I am opening, and I skipped one. See, you can't go straight to the opening. You got to go to the surrender first. Rewind. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender. I fall into the arms of love. I surrender. I trust and I know that as I surrender, I fall into the arms of love. So open your mind and your heart for just a moment and ask, what is it within me that I'm ready to surrender? What can I let go of? What is not serving me? So once we have that clarity, then it takes courage to act. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. We are opening. We are opening. Our hearts are ready to receive. We are opening. We are opening. Our hearts are ready to receive. I am opening. I am opening. My heart is ready to receive. So I speak this word this morning, knowing that from a willing and open heart, I let life move through me. And I say, lead me, love, in my thoughts, in my words, in my actions. Lead me, love. Lead me on. When I'm weary, make me strong. Lead me, love, help me grow. Lead me, love, lead me on. Lead me, love, lead me on. When I'm weary, make me strong. Lead me, love, help me grow. Lead me, love, lead me on. And so I surrender the details of my life, the details of this service. I surrender all of the details that it takes to have a beloved community. And I give it back to God. And I say thank you. I trust that I am led, guided, and directed in every area of my life. Lead me, love. Lead me on. When I'm weary, make me strong. Lead me, love. So this is, you want to stay in that sweet spot, but you want to give Rochelle a round of applause. You do it like this right here. Hi, guys. Hi, guys. How's it going? All right, so I believe Kelly is our reader today. Am I right, Kelly? Where are you? Thought I saw Kelly. I did see Kelly. Excellent. And I guessed, I was like imagining I was hugging you, and then I put the mic right there. Let's see how I did. Drum roll. But we're going to pull it out here so everyone can see you. Come on out here. How did I do? How did I do? Oh, now just tilt it down just a hair, and it'll be perfect. There we go.
Hi, everybody. I'm reading from the Science of Mind magazine for today, June 12th. I couldn't even think of the month. Okay, it's Know Your Zip Code. Everything is holy, everybody's holy, everywhere is holy, every day is in eternity, everyone's an angel. And that was Allen Ginsberg. Communion is entering into conscious union with the essence of things. It was Ernest Holmes' Pray and Prosper, page 17. Ram Dass said, because you are seeing divine light, experiencing waves of bliss, or conversing with gods and goddesses is no reason to not know your zip code. This reminds me of a similar wise reflection, beware of being so heavenly minded, you're no earthly good. We evolve by being involved, and since evolution knows no finish line, our involvement in the amalgams of spirituality and humanity are continuously before us to blend our devotion and action. Thomas Troward wrote, the error of the extreme idealist is in endeavoring to realize the absolute without the relative, and the error of the extreme materialist is in endeavoring to realize the relative without the absolute. Periods of heightened spiritual experience are not excuses to dismiss the realities of within our human lives. I make walking a part of my daily practice, and during the winter months, the hours of light naturally lessen. Due to long work hours, my miles of steps can happen in the cold and dark. Winter, to use Ram Dass' analogy, is sort of like a zip code. I have communion with God, and I also have communion with winter. I work with the balance of one foot in the ethereal and one in earthly form. And just like winter, form changes. I don't have to spend time in blaming or fighting the form of it. To know your zip code is a reminder to bring divinity and sacred connection into the routine of human endeavors, just as we bring it naturally into conversations with the divine. And the affirmation today, if you guys want to repeat, all is holy in the here and now. All is holy in the here and now. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, Kelly. And thank you, Joanne, for organizing our readers. If you want to share a reading anytime. Oh, I got the funky mic. You got the funky one, Joe. Okay. For a second, I thought he said, just don't move. I was like, yeah, we've known each other a minute. You know, that's not possible. So, you see nothing. You did not see the man behind the curtain. Sir? Oh, yay, I can move. That's fabulous. Thank you. We evolve by being involved. I love that. And it never stops. The evolution thing never stops. And I love the thought of our involvement together in community is directly feeding into our evolution as spiritual beings. We evolve by being involved. I love these new sharing circles we just started today. It's going to be a regular thing every Sunday morning at 10:30 where we get together and we share what's going on in our lives because it's been a big couple of years, right? Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Now, we're always challenged by choice here, so if this feels too personal or too vulnerable and you for any reason do not want to participate, you do not have to.
However, if you're willing to, I'd like for us to look at something. If you personally have lost 15 or more people in the last 2 years, since March of 2020, or just say in the last 2 or 3 years, if you've lost more than 15 people that you considered beloved family, whether they're blood family or friends, if they've made their transition in the last few years, more than 15 people. I know that's a lot, but has anyone experienced that? I have, Joe has. It's actually 22, I think. All right, so if you've experienced more than 10 people who have made their transition that were very close to you, please stand and remain standing. More than 5 people that you knew and loved that made their transition in the last few years. More than 2 people. Please stand. Please stand and stay standing. If anyone that you knew and loved personally has made their transition in the last few years, please stand and remain standing. If you yourself have been very, very ill with anything in the last couple of years, please stand and remain standing. If you've had any injuries, any accidents, any hospitalizations, any surgeries, please stand and remain standing for just a moment. If you've had loss of a job or a loss of a home or wrecked your car, any other life-changing, impacting thing happened to you in the last few years, please stand and remain standing. All right, look around the room for just a second. We've all experienced, the ones standing have experienced those things. Now, stay right there, stay right there. Now, all of us can stand on this. If you've experienced a global trauma for a sustained period of time, more than 2 years, please stand and look around the room. You are not alone, okay? Breathe into that, not the tragedy of it, not the trauma of it, but breathe into the fact that this has been big. And you're not alone. Okay, you can be seated. Thank you. I like to think of it as bandwidth, what I'm about to say. Bandwidth, you know, if you're getting on someone's Wi-Fi, if there's a lot of things draining the Wi-Fi, it's gonna move slower, right? For anyone that was just standing, including the people who didn't, and I'm happy for you, that did not lose anyone close to them, for all of us, our bandwidth has been at least temporarily impeded. What that means is where you may have been on it, best friend in the world, just knew when your BFF was going through something and you called before they even said a word. Or you maybe in your job you anticipate people's needs and you followed up with people and at least a little your bandwidth was impeded. And in some cases, for some of us, a lot. And so I realized that, and I realized that after a trauma, we just want to get back to it, right? We just want to get back to it. I remember when I was in college, 2 of my roommates were roughhousing, and one of them hit the wall, and a speaker fell on her head, and blood went everywhere, and everybody's freaking out. Nobody's doing anything. Like blood, ping, ping, nobody's doing a thing. Everybody says, ah, ah. Condo with 6 girls. Anyway, they were just screaming, but I would normally be one of those screaming girls because I don't like blood. I don't like to see it. I don't want to talk about it. Don't tell me about your surgeries. I will pass out on you. But in that moment, I grabbed the t-shirt and applied pressure with one hand. I called 911 with the other, and I'm like handling it. The minute they took her off, I was sick, passed out. Was not good for like 2 days. I was done. I was just not well, right? That's trauma. That's what happens to us when we hold it together, but then we just, we're in the, okay? We're deciding what's next, what now? For individuals, for couples, for families, for communities like this, it's a rebuild time. It's a what's next. And so, for me, when I'm in the process of any kind of transition or rebuild, I go back to the basics. And one of the basic curriculums that I love to use in this teaching of New Thought, which is where we're teaching our consciousness a new idea about life and about the divine. So one of the things I go back to is a book called The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Because you see, as your bandwidth was squeezed a little, you just had to do the best you could do. That's one of the agreements. Do your best. Just do the best. and trust that the other people around you are doing their best. It may not be the best you think they should be doing, because we all have our scripts we've written for everybody else, and they may not be listening or reading your script at all. You're like, no, page two, go back to page 2. No. So do your best and trust that someone else is doing their best as well. And then be impeccable with your word. I'm gonna fly through these first 2 because I want to spend a little more time on the last 2. So do your best. Be impeccable with your word. I talked about last week what you put behind your I am, you are causing in your life. You are creating, you are giving energy to it. I'm so tired. More tired. I remember my friend Renee Laboa, when we were co-pastoring, she would say, I'm tired all the time, and somebody called her out on it because one of us did one of these talks, what you put behind your I am. And so she was like, called herself every time, and she would say, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So Renee's I'm tired turned into I'm so excited. So learn ways to change your I am to fit the direction that you want to be going, because I'm telling you, what we marinate in consciousness, we create in life experiences. So we want to be really conscious of that and be impeccable with our word. That's not just not telling a lie. That's not using our word against ourselves or against another person. And so then that brings me to take nothing personal. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'll be right in the middle of taking something personal, thinking about how I'm going to tell somebody not to take it personal, before I realize that I've taken personal them taking something personal. You know what I'm saying? Follow that. Just happened. So it just happened. I had a conversation. Someone was taking something personal, and then I took it personal. And then I thought, I just need to remind him to not take things personal. And then Angie goes, well, I mean, you might be. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for honesty in community and in relationships. This morning I was asking Chris about something. I was hanging up a sign. I was like, does this look okay? And he goes, well, I mean, no. So honesty is good, right? But not taking things personally is so important. It's so important, and I know it's hard. I know it's hard sometimes, because sometimes you're like, well, the person attacked me, or they came at my character, or they accused me of something I didn't do, or the list goes on, right? And then I go back to A Course in Miracles. Every act is an expression of love or a call for love. Oh, that's a centering point for me. Every act is an expression of love or a call for love. Actually, the quote continues, a call for love, help, or healing. If you reframed it like that, wouldn't that be easier to not retaliate on somebody, right? When they're accusing you of something, or they're not being their best self that day, to realize that everything is either an expression of love, yep, not that, or they're asking for love. And I know sometimes people ask in weird ways with steam coming out of their ears and wrinkles on their face as they're, But if we can train ourselves to see the pain in the world as a request for love, wow, we can cause something different to happen on this planet, and something different needs to happen. And it comes from standing in the consciousness of love and letting that attract more love. When we start our day in a giving way, people turn out giving back to us. We start our day in a loving way, love returns to us. When we start looking for things to take personal, we're going to find it. Am I right? So not taking things personal. And that makes the next one so much easier. When we don't take things personal, then we don't make as many assumptions. So the fourth one is don't make assumptions. We don't make as many when we don't take things personally. And so when you're looking at life, saying, okay, life is for me, right out of the gate, you're taking less things personal. Right out of the gate, you're making less assumptions. When you're going back to that fundamental truth that everything is unfolding for my highest, greatest good, even when I can't see it, even when I have a hard time believing it, even when things feel hard, even when 20-something people that I love dearly are no longer here that I can reach out and hug. I know that life is eternal. I know the soul is eternal. And I miss their face. I miss their hugs. But even then, I know that life is unfolding for my highest, greatest good. Say that with me. Life is unfolding for my highest, greatest good. Say it again. Life is unfolding for my highest, greatest good. And I'm going to choose to look at ways that I can show up as love by choosing to look for the love, choosing to see even the ugliness as where can I give more love in the world? Where can I shine just a little bit brighter? And some tools for that, man, laughter. Laughter will get you back in a good way. Find an excuse. I used to think this laughter yoga thing, I don't know about that. And then I attended one time, and I felt so goofy, making myself laugh with a bunch of people I didn't even know. I was like, this is weird, but I'm going to do it. So I did. I felt so good because everything's energy. And laughter raises your energy. You can't help it. You can't help but feel better. I was talking to someone this week who's having a really hard time. And by the end of the conversation, we were laughing and talking about what we're grateful for. We were moving up the stem. Went from thorns to buds to blooms. What are we grateful for? Our boys are visiting us. Our nephews are visiting us from Georgia. And I love them so much. Oh, my goodness. And I get the privilege of being the cuddle buddy at night. Basically, it means I sleep like this. One here and one there. And before we go to sleep, I say, okay, guys, okay. What are we grateful for today? What are we grateful for today? I'm so grateful for them. I'm so grateful for my wife. I'm so grateful for all of you. I'm so grateful for this teaching that reminds me that out of no way a way is shown, that out of chaos peace is born, because it's already there at the center of the infinite. I'm grateful for this teaching that reminds me that anything is possible, even when wars rage and gun violence is out of control and injustice and inequity is everywhere. I know that there's still within each of us that creative impulse that is one with the divine that creates change. But it starts one-on-one, one person at a time, one community at a time, and it's about taking ownership of that end result that we want to see, right? Taking ownership of it being the difference that we want to see. Learning to be able to feel our feelings without blaming somebody else for them. Learning to be able to feel the overwhelm without shutting down. To feel sad or hurt or upset, but being able to come back to love, to come back to possibility, and to do it over and over. It's called spiritual practice for a reason. We get to do it over and over. And so, speaking of not taking things personally, I would be remiss in this particular environment to not mention the law. We talk about spiritual laws, whether you call it law of mind, law of attraction, law of mind action. This spiritual law that's an input-output relationship with the infinite, okay, with the universe, that what we cultivate, the predominant thinking and feeling nature that we live in and that we exude attracts experiences that match it, okay? That's what I'm talking about. That is also something that not to take personal, because it's not personal. It's this created out of this loving energy of God by whatever name you give it. We have this awesome law that returns to us what we are. And so we get the opportunity to continually hone and polish what and who we are and how we are in the world. And to realize it's not personal. It's just not. It's just showing up to reflect something that needs to be healed or released, or where love needs to be given. What needs to be healed, what needs to be released, and what love needs to be given. If you ask yourself that, you'll save yourself a whole lot of time. A whole lot of amends will not have to happen. Just keep your side of the street continually clean with that. It works. And when we do it in community, we rub off on each other. Have you noticed that? I love it when people say, and someone else said it today, my life is so much better since I started coming here. And it's because we're continually reminding each other of this powerful stuff. And we're continually being in community with people who want the same things, that want peace, that want kids to be clothed and fed, all of us to be clothed and fed, to want justice, to want a world that works for everyone. And when we come together, continually coming together as a community, where two or more are gathered, that energy is amplified, right? And so it continues to amplify in, as, and through each of us. And this community that we call the Carolina Center for Spiritual Awakening, CCSA, is easier because I picked a name this long. But when we come together in this community, we need to remember that we are it. I love this room right here. I've been playing in this room since the stage was over there and it was called something else. I love this room. I love Joe Kuhlman. I love the Evening News. Everybody knows that. And this room is not our community. These four walls, this roof, this is not CCSA. We are that. We are that. Wherever we are that. We are that right now. We were that at Magnolia Woods. We were that when we were at the Hut. Literally, it's called the Hut. Look it up. On the side of the Y right down here. We were that then. We will be that when we're in another home that has a place for our bookstore again and our kids and all the things. And yes, parking. And so but we are that right now. And we can't wait to be it when we have the next space that will be our home, right? We have to be it now if we want it to flourish, if we want it to be the change it can be in the world, in our lives, in our city, and beyond. It's to own it right here and right now. Because what happens to it, it's up to us. That's why these annual meetings are so important. That's why I'm knowing in advance and giving you gratitude in advance for staying. Because it's important that we look at where we've been and where we want to go, and what we can do in the in-between. Because this community is about us making a difference and living our best lives individually and collectively. That inspires me. That is exciting to me. That is exciting when I see kids and adults who start watching the things that they say and seeing if they match what they say they want and go, oh, nope, I'm going to course correct that. It was Gandhi that said happiness is when our thoughts, our actions, and our words all match. If we want to be happy, there you go. Make sure your thoughts, your actions, and your words all match, all congruent. And be part of that evolution. Being involved helps your evolving, right? Being involved with one another. I love what Michael Beckwith said at the beginning of the pandemic. He said, community is my immunity. And, I love that. And we bring each other higher. Imagine like what your life would be like if you only surrounded yourself. Don't imagine it for too long because imagination creates. But imagine what your life would be like if you only surrounded yourself with people that thought less of you, told you where your shortcomings were all the time, beat you down, like you think you can do that, constantly telling you all the things that are wrong with you. Imagine what your life would be like. Maybe some of you can imagine. I can imagine what that's like. Been there, done that. Now, if you haven't fully imagined it yet, take a minute and imagine what it's like to be with people who constantly are telling you you're amazing. Not to blow smoke, but because they believe it. Because they believe that there's one power and one presence, call it whatever you want, but it is this beautiful, loving presence. And it created everything, and it's in all of its creation, so it's in me, and it's in you, and I see it, and it's beautiful. So imagine how sweet life can continue to get when you continually surround yourself with people reminding each other of that and doing their best to live that, to not take things personally, not make assumptions, and also being impeccable with your word and doing their best. People that are constantly trying to do that. Then we are creating a world that works for everyone because we're doing it one at a time. I love that David Alt is our contributor again this month for the Science of Mind magazine. He does great daily readings, and a couple of quotes from him from today's reading that I'll just reiterate. Thanks, Kelly, for doing that. I work with balance of 1 foot in the ethereal and 1 foot in the earthly form. I think of the saying that, even yogis have bills, It's like we can be spiritual, but we still are living in a 3D world. And it's about finding that, being able to be both and finding that balance, not just constantly sticking our head in the sand and going, bills, what bills? Money will come, I'm prosperous, I'm prosperous, I'm prosperous, I'm prosperous. No, you affirm that you're prosperous and you take whatever action you need. You affirm that you're healthy and you go to the doctor if you need to, or you do, whatever you need to do to participate in that. The other thing that he said was, I don't have to spend time in blaming or fighting the form of it. That's one of the main points I wanted you to take away today, is stop wasting time blaming or fighting the form. In other words, how things show up, how relationships show up, how circumstances show up. Instead of fighting that, looking for, how is this my highest, greatest good? How can I contribute to this being my highest, greatest good? Where is love wanting to show through me in this circumstance? Because love, as Dr. Ernest Holmes, the founder of our teaching, as he said, love is the grandest healing and drawing power on earth. The grandest healing and drawing power draws things to us, the strongest on earth. So let's stand for it. Let's stand in it. Let's stand as it. Let's stand and be that love. That's the point. And so it is. Thank you. There's a place we can go to, whatever race or creed, a place we can go to, together you and me. A place we can go to stand in unity, hand in hand together, for all the world to see. And that place is love. That place is love. That place is love. In the consciousness of our hearts, stand in love. Now is the time we have to make a choice, to go to fear and hatred, or to give love a voice. Now is the time to stand in our belief and to hold in our minds what we want to see. So I stand in love. I stand in love. I stand in love. In the consciousness of my heart, stand in love. Now I truly believe that we are all one, and that a conscious evolution has begun. So I stand in love. I stand in love. I stand in love. In the consciousness of my heart, stand in love. I'm getting a little choked up. Why don't y'all help me sing We Stand in Love? We stand in love. We stand in love. We stand in love. In the consciousness of our hearts, in the consciousness of our hearts, in the consciousness of our hearts, we stand in love. Thank you for singing. Thank you for singing. All right, so to the kids in the room and to the kids online and to all the kids all over everywhere, we want to say, kids, we see you. we hear you, we appreciate you, and we love you just the way you are. Yes, yes, yes. All right, we have opportunities for giving back to the center online. You can do that. A lot of people do, so don't feel weird when the basket comes around. A lot of times people are like, you feel like, I can see your faces like you're wanting to explain to the person bringing the basket. I do it online. I use Cash App. Yeah, no, I'm a PayPal person. It's okay. So here's what I want. Before you pass the basket, I just want to say this. Whether you're giving anything, tangibly putting it in that basket, or whether you give online, or whether your gift was being here this morning in person, and that's wonderful. I want you to consider putting your hand over the basket for just a second and just thinking about the fact that it represents, these baskets were made by a village in Africa, and they were created as a way to bring money into this tribe. And so they are, I think it's so fitting that that's what we use them for. But think about the symbolism of this basket, of this abundance that flows. And so whether, like I say, use it as a tool for yourself when the basket comes around. Don't shy away from it. Let's step into prosperity. Put your hand over it and affirm for yourself. You don't have to say it out loud, but just say, I accept, which just means I accept the good for myself, for my friends, for my family, for this community. Anyway, that's my little rant there. All right, so join me in singing our abundance song. You are taken care of. I am taken care of. We are taken care of by the Spirit of love. You are being blessed by, I am being blessed by. We are being blessed by the Spirit of love. Right now is another chance. Right now is another chance. Right now is another chance to live in abundance, to live in the abundance of joy. Live in abundance, to live in the abundance of money. Nothing wrong with it. Live in abundance. How are you supposed to help people out and give it away and all that stuff if you don't have it? So there's nothing wrong with it. Live in abundance. Live in the abundance of love and in the abundance of peace and health and harmony. I claim that for myself and for each of us this morning. You are taken care of. I am taken care of. We are taken care of by the Spirit of love. Sing it with me. You are being blessed by, I am being blessed by, we are being blessed by the Spirit of love. Right now is another chance. Right now is another chance. Right now is another chance to live in abundance. Thank you, God, for the good in my life. I'm so grateful. Live in abundance. Thank you so much. You are taken care of. I am taken care of. We are taken care of by the Spirit of love. And so it is. Thank you for singing. Join us in our closing song, if you would. It's easy. If you haven't heard it before, it goes like this. We let the love wash over us. We just let it be. And we stand up, but you don't have to. You can keep your seat, whatever you feel comfortable doing. We let the love wash over us. We let it be. We let the joy, we let the joy wash over us. We let it be. We let the peace. We let the peace wash over us. We let it be. We let the grace, we let the grace wash over us. We let it be. We let the love, sing it one more time with me. We let the love, we let the love wash over us. We let it be. We love you, we bless you, and we thank you. Thank you so much for being here. We do not need to put the chairs up because we are going to have our annual meeting right in just a few minutes. We'll get started on that. And if you're not staying for that, we'd still love to visit with you for just a minute. So hang out for a minute, have some donuts and coffee. We won't start the meeting until 1:15. I'm ending just a little early so we can have time to visit for a minute, run to the restroom, and we're going to move these front row of chairs and put a table right here. Thank you all so much for being here this morning. And if you are a member, please stay. If you're not a member, you're welcome to stay too.